tequila, it's distilled spirit coming from the fermented juices of the blue agave. You can see two roads that the tequila producers are taking in terms of how to handle the growth of tequila. You have brands that focus on growth and not necessarily quality, which demand more and more tequila, are going into more industrial, faster processes to make more tequila faster. And then you have brands like Casa, which are focused on quality and the handcrafted approach of having a tastier, more elaborate, more enjoyable tequila.
Casa for me is a really good tequila.
They do things right, and you can see it on the land and you can see it on the product.
One of the things that makes Casa so unique, it's our estate where we grow our agave. The combination of high altitude, volcanic soil, warmer, drier weather, and growing on an incline makes our agave really struggle to survive, and that's what makes the strong character, flavors, and aromas of Casa. We are growing our agave in an organically certified soil. There's no chemicals ever added, so you're gonna have a beautiful, strong, sweet character coming from the agave fibers that we grow in that region. The approach of patience, bringing the agave, cooking it at stone oven for 36 hours. Then comes a crucial step, which is natural unassisted fermentation. We rely entirely on native airborne yeast. It would take 5 full days to reach full fermentation. Most people place a premium on speed. We put it on the richness of the flavors and aromas and quality. And with the added factor that there's brands like Casa that also place a huge premium on sustainability issues. So it's not only how you make tequila, but also how you handle the other things involved. We have a water treatment facility. We have compost fields right on our property that were built specifically to transform all of our waste back into life.
There's many people around the world who have yet to uncover the virtues of really well-made tequila, and that's what we're talking about here. 100% agave tequila that's made properly by people that are so passionate about it.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Tequila Tuesday Show. I am your host, Justin Baldwin, and the tequila that we're talking about today is Casa. And I'm really excited about this tequila. I know I say that a lot, but the reason I'm excited about this tequila is it really embodies the vision that I have and the reason for this show. Whenever I talk to people about tequila and this show comes up, it really goes one of two ways pretty quickly. Oh, tequila is just the alcohol that I take a quick shot of to get the buzz flowing early in my late night out, whether I'm clubbing or bar hopping, or it just so happens to be the alcohol that's in the margaritas that I love from my favorite Mexican restaurant. And while those aren't necessarily a bad thing, I started this show to shed light on the incredible hard work and the thought and the meticulous process behind making tequila. The amazing flavor profiles, the amazing nose profiles that are in each brand of tequila. There is so much that goes into making a tequila, whether it's the process of fermenting. Do they use open air? Do they use closed tanks? What is the material that they use in the casing to ferment the tequila? How do the different flavor profiles come about? What do the particular nose profiles come from? All that goes into making a particular brand's tequila and the meticulous thinking that goes behind the exact flavor profile and the nose profile that they wanted to create in their tequila. There's so much that goes behind it. And I wanted to create a show that shed light on all of that goes behind the tequila and the experience and the great stories that are behind each brand. And Casa definitely does not disappoint in any of those areas. Jose Hermosillo, the founder, comes from a long line of tequila makers, stretching all the way back to the 1700s, when his great-grandmother married the brother of Pedro Sanchez de Tequila, the first person in history to create tequila. So, fast forward through many generations. Casa Noble, where does the name come from? Jose chose that name. Noble is his noble pursuit of creating the perfect, best tasting, highest quality tequila. Noble also happens to mean agave in Greek. So, what's really cool is Jose still has the titles of property from the original estate his family bought hundreds of years ago. They started with 20 brick ovens and only 200,000 agave plants. Now, 200,000 might sound like a lot, but not when you realize that companies today are overseeing millions and millions and millions of agave plants. Put in perspective, 200,000 doesn't seem like that much, but that's where this all started. Back then, they bought the estate, and everything together only amounts to about $25,000 in today's money. Casa Noble, they start by cutting the agaves, and then they move on to stone or brick ovens to cook the agave. For the fermentation process, they use a screw mill to crush down the agaves. They use stainless steel to ferment the tequila. They triple distill it, which is not the first tequila brand that does that on the show. We've had one other brand that triple distilled their tequila to try to produce an extremely clean tequila. They use stainless steel pots for their distillation. It does have copper coils in it though. And Blanco, if you remember, if you're new to the show, I'll explain this to you. To be considered a Blanco, it can be aged from 0, technically up to 60 days. But Casa Noble's, they call it Crystal or Blanco, has been aged 0. None at all. It is bottled immediately. Looking at the bottle, it's a pretty cool shaped bottle with indentions all the way around. Makes it really good for being able to grip. Has a slot for your fingers on both sides. The front says Casa Noble's Tequila, obviously Crystal. Again, this is their Blanco version. Up here on the wrap for the neck of the bottle, it says triple distilled, which they're very proud of again. And then it has Pepe Hermosillo, which Pepe is Jose's nickname. Then on the back of the bottle has a very simple label again. Right here embossed is the name again, Casa Noble. NOM number is 1137. Comes from Jalisco, Mexico, where almost every tequila brand starts, is in Jalisco, Mexico. The NOM 1137 is really interesting because they produce 67 other tequila brands at this distillery. 1137, La Cofradia. 67 other tequilas are made here. But that doesn't take anything away from what I am hoping to experience in tasting this tequila. Like always, this will be the first time that I have tasted this tequila. And one thing before we actually try it that I think is incredible is they have a big focus on sustainability, one, but also in everything that goes behind their tequila. They are certified organic. And you've probably never thought about that when it comes to the tequila that you put in your body, but you have to think. It all originates from a plant, the agave plant. And when you have millions and you have millions and millions of agave plants going on, and you're trying to make sure that the company is as profitable as possible, obviously you have to protect them. So a lot of chemicals are used to keep bugs and things away, but Casa Noble uses 0 chemicals at any time. So that's a big thing to me, pretty interesting. Never really thought about that before coming and studying Casa Noble. So let's go ahead and open it up. Again, thanks so much to all of the engagement and the messages and things that I have been receiving. The top of this is a cork that's definitely a metal top. Has this really cool embroidery on top. It's definitely solid. Definitely have the agave smell going on. Set this to the side. Let's go ahead and get into the tasting of this. Has a very pure agave smell to it. A little bit of citrus, even flowery even, which isn't really something I've experienced yet. Let's go ahead and taste it, because after all, that is the most important part of a tequila. It's definitely got a pepper taste, but it's weird. It's like the pepper doesn't hit you and it doesn't cut through everything like other tequilas that I've had that had a strong flavor profile of pepper. I really don't know how to explain this. It's very, very interesting. It's extremely smooth, as you would expect from triple distillation, but got some alcohol, a little bit of alcohol going on. Very, very clean tasting. Very, very clean tasting. Which would come from that triple distillation. Black pepper is definitely there, but it's not very overpowering at all, like some of the other tequilas that we've had before on the show. Leaves an interesting taste on the palate and on the tongue. Interesting feeling, kind of like a really pure. You can tell you've tasted alcohol, but it's like a pure, clean feeling. Very cool. Again, never experienced this before with any of the tequilas we've had on the show. This is very, very good. It's very, very good. You could probably definitely could just have this by itself. Definitely. And again, you don't need the salt and you don't need the lime, okay? That came from people that thought the tequila wouldn't be good on its own. And they do that different stuff to kind of mask and take away from the flavor and the taste of tequila. But a well-made tequila, 100% agave, you don't need any of that. Just need a glass, room temperature, and this is wonderful. Definitely a recommendation. Definitely has my stamp of approval on this one. I got to get a little more to make my toast to you guys. thank you, as always, to all of the love and the support for me and the show. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. As always, let me know what your favorite tequila is. Even if you've never tried something, let me know what tequila you'd like me to talk about and have on the show. I'd be more than happy to do the work and to have it on the show and talk about it and try it. Again, thank you for letting me try this for you guys. Go out. I think it has a price tag of like $44. This is the Crystal 750 milliliter bottle. So, I mean, 44 bucks is nothing, you know, for a good quality tequila. Please, again, drink responsibly. Here is to your continued health, wealth, love, and happiness. I'll see you next week.